Big Bob.
And I'm Ann.
What's up?
Everybody, welcome to What's Up with Big Bob and Ann, or Ann and Big Bob.
I like Big Bob and Ann.
I figured you did.
What's up? So today, introduce our guest, please.
We have a fantastic guest, and I'm really
Wait,
interested.
how do you know he's fantastic?
Because I've been speaking to him while you were out doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Oh, let's not get into that.
That's another
Right.
topic for another day.
All right.
Hey, he's all about health and wellness.
Doctor.
He's a doctor, Dr. Rick Folten, with now full spectrum back and body.
There
See,
we
it's
go.
right here.
That's us.
Unique about Rick is
I don't think you can see it on the screen.
well, what's your
Very
website?
red.
Say it
There
out
we go.
loud.
Here's another one.
What's your website?
Thinkfullspectrum.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And the unique thing about Dr. Fulton, or Rick, you got Dr. Rick.
Dr. Rick is what I
Dr.
go by.
Rick,
Yeah,
is
sure.
that he did not have a career. His career was in construction prior to.
Wait,
getting
let
into
him
this.
tell the story.
Well, I'm
That's
setting
fine.
it up.
You're setting it up with all the answers?
No, because we're going to get it. Just,
Well, ask an open-ended question that he gets answered to.
do you need another
To the
Bruce?
moon, to the moon, Alice.
All right. You just talk because I'm interested in everything you have to say.
Wait, before you start, do you ever watch 2.5 Men?
A couple episodes.
Well, you know what Charlie says to his brother, don't you?
Haven't
'Cause
watched
the-
enough.
The brother, who is a chiropractor, goes by Dr. Harper, and Charlie always goes, "That's not a real doctor." So you're a chiropractor now, right?
Right.
How close is that to being a real doctor?
That's a really good question, actually. So I think real doctors are people who take care of real problems, and we take care of real problems. So I consider myself a real doctor. But we do more than just chiropractic as well.
Wait, does that mean I'm a doctor because I take care of real problems?
You might be.
Doctor of flooring?
You might be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Give
You're
him
an
some
expert, are you not?
Dr. Big Bob.
It's okay. So anyway, I'm a functional medicine doctor too. So do you know what those are?
You obviously don't.
Can you write prescriptions?
Nope.
Then what good are you?
He's
We're
You
really
gonna
can't,
go-
tell, you
we're
can't
gonna
tell
go
me
through
with my
that.
problems. You can't help me with all my
Oh,
drug
okay.
problems.
Well, in some instances, and I apologize, a prescription in some instances can be more of a Band-Aid, but chiropractic can get to the root of an issue. Do you want a
Hold on.
Band-Aid, or do you want to fix where the problem began initially?
Which is going to hurt more?
I'm just going to leave that question there. You
Right.
win.
I don't like pain.
Well, let's talk.
Let's talk. I love it. That's what I do best.
All right.
So, background, please.
Yeah. So I actually didn't decide to be a chiropractor until later in my life. I was in the construction field first, and so I owned a construction company for 20 to 25 years.
On construction.
Just residential remodeling. So did a lot of stuff.
Here in Kansas City?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like
Yeah.
a honey-do list guy?
Yeah, a lot of those. We built custom energy efficient homes for a while. Then we got into mostly bedroom, bathroom suites, kind of
Uh-huh.
design and build and that kind of stuff. So it was a
Where
lot
did you
of
buy
fun.
your flooring from?
I bought some flooring from Big Bob once.
No.
So I did actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I-
Tile.
Obviously,
Tile from
not
Big Bob,
enough
too.
because I wasn't able to retire.
Is that right? Okay. All
Obviously,
right.
did by now.
All right. So it wasn't a big enough name apparently, but anyway, so I was in construction business. I was also in the entertainment business.
In
So
what capacity?
I shot a commercial with Patrick Mahomes.
Did you really?
Yeah, the first Hy-Vee commercial he did.
You did?
I was in that one. Yeah, I'm the guy at the end that says, "Hey, why don't you make it up to me on Sunday?"
Oh, is that the one where he's throwing the football over the
you
yard?
got
I
it,
remember
right.
that.
That's
I did
me.
too.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you catch the ball or he ran by you?
With my grill. Yeah, I caught it with the grill. So.
Oh, he threw the ball into your grill?
Yeah. Mhm. Hot dogs everywhere.
Your teeth look great.
Thanks.
How fun was that?
Anyway, so I did entertainment on the side while I was doing my
You
construction
look like a
company.
model.
Thanks, I appreciate that. So,
Yeah. Did you ever model?
Checks in the mail. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Really?
It's Kansas City. You have to do
Did you run
everything.
into him
So,
when you were doing some gigs?
I
When you were
did
doing
not.
yours?
No, I was just doing drag stuff. He wasn't doing that kind of.
didn't have time for everything.
No.
So anyway,
off
so we
your
did,
list.
I did construction and entertainment. And so that led us to making our own home improvement show called Romancing the Home. And while we were shooting the pilot on that, I actually herniated 3 discs in my back. So that ended my construction career.
Did that end the show?
Wait a minute.
It did end the show as well. So
Which discs?
L45,
Lumbar.
Does it start up
L34,
here or start
Cervical-
down?
Cervical,
at the bottom.
thoracic, and
L's at the
lumbar.
bottom.
L's
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Yeah,
See, I didn't know that. So L's at the bottom,
yeah,
and so right in the lower back. You got-
right. Yeah, the one that gets everybody when they get sciatica or they get bent over and they can't stand up. That was me.
How do you fix them?
So I did the conventional route. I went to my doctor. He sent me to an orthopedic surgeon. The surgeon said, "Hey, you're a little too young to start carving on." So he sent me out to a PT that didn't do everything
Physical
I needed.
therapist.
Physical therapist. Very good. Thanks. So you stay up on all the acronyms, everything we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So, and so anyway, so we did the physical therapy thing for a while. That didn't quite do it for me. So I talked to a friend of mine, and he suggested I see a chiropractor.
Right.
And so I did.
Was that
And,
your first time with the chiropractor?
I had been to see them once or twice during my construction career, but really hadn't been in
So-
too
so
much.
What is
So,
the difference between a chiropractor and a massage parlor? Besides the happy
a
ending.
bunch. So what we do, here's a good example. So a chiropractor, it's all right. I get it all the time.
Yeah.
So a chiropractor, the way we look at chiropractic is if you think about your nervous system, and your spine basically is it's the armor around your nervous system, right? So your spinal cord's kind of soft and spongy, and you don't want that laying out on its own, right?
Okay.
If you like stepping on a garden hose, wouldn't be much fun for anybody.
Right. Okay.
So if you think of your spine or your spinal cord like a garden hose, if you put pressure on that garden hose, let's say you're out watering flowers and
Water doesn't come out.
Hmm?
Water doesn't come out if you step on
Right.
those.
or as much, right? You might get a little bit, but you don't get as much as you need. And that affects everything downstream. That's what happens with your nervous system.
All right.
So we take pressure off the nervous system that allows that to function properly. But I'm not just a normal chiropractor.
Well, before we go, I gotta. I took anatomy in college.
Great.
Right. Right.
Why don't you ask him where he graduated in college, numbers wise?
It's okay.
93 out of 95 in phys
Is
ed.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
90.
That makes you a good businessman.
Right. And there's a story behind that. Anyways, did all the muscles. We had a monkey cadaver for a year, 2 semesters,
Yeah.
but we never touched the nerves, or I don't even think we worked that much with tendons.
You get on my nerves
It
a
was
lot.
just. Oh, that was
There
that
we
was
go.
sassy. But we worked with muscles.
Sure.
Are you working more with nerves than you are with muscles?
That's a good question. So a normal chiropractor does things a little differently than we do. We're considered a corrective care chiropractor. So we take x-rays of most of our patients when they come in. Unless they bring in some x-rays, we want to know what's going on inside before we start working on
X-rays can
things.
see nerves.
No, x-rays can see the structure. So we can
Bones.
see, right. So if we took an x-ray of you, we can see if you have anything
heart.
called, yeah, we can actually see that. Osteoarthritis.
He has
like
a
if-
wonderful sense of humor.
Well, thanks. So we can see things inside. We can see if the curves are not where they're supposed to be. You're supposed to have a certain amount of curves in your neck that take pressure off your spinal cord,
Right.
which also takes pressure off your muscles. So these muscles right here, they get probably really
that feels
sore
so
on you.
good.
Yeah. Those get really sore because the curve in your neck is not where it's supposed to be. If the curve in your neck was where it was supposed to be and your posture was right, these wouldn't get sore on you.
It's like
Okay.
everybody who has a cell phone now. is
Yeah,
probably-
cell phone, or we're on our computers. We're always doing a lot of that stuff, right? So, so I work with the spine to correct pressure or take pressure off the nervous system, and then I also, I was a fitness competitor, so I won a fitness competition back in 2016, and I had this was right after I got injured, and an MMA fighter at a local gym actually taught me how to get in shape. And so I've used that philosophy in my practice since then. So we don't just adjust your back. We take a look at you. Like if you came in, we'd look at you and say, okay, you have weak muscles here, your strong muscles here. Stop doing those pec
Too
exercises.
fat here.
Well, there's a six pack in there. You just
It used to be a
covered in
six
a
pack.
keg, right?
It used to be a six pack. Now it's pony cake.
It's still there. Anyway, so what we do is we strengthen those weak muscles. I basically use the fitness competition information that I learned, everything I learned about getting in shape to help every patient get in shape. We want your muscles to be strong so they keep your spine in alignment.
So you're working in the gym.
I have a gym in my office. So
For your patients?
For our patients, yeah.
Well, he has to. If he's working on the structure, it's not just manipulating muscles and nerves. It's building the muscles to support
Mhm.
the excess weight and the skeleton and all that other kind of crap
Right.
correctly.
right. And then we also work with nutrition. So our business has three pillars. It's called structure, function, and nutrition. Structure, of course, is taking the pressure off the nervous system, correcting any misalignments in the spine or putting the curve back in. Function is getting the muscles that are weak to be strengthened, those that are too strong to relax when we strengthen those weak muscles. So once the muscles are coordinated, the structure's in place, then we work on nutrition. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So you can have your spine in alignment, you can have your muscles nice and strong, and you can still have inflammation that causes pain and degeneration.
And
So,
inflammation is like the biggest cause of so many things, isn't it?
yeah, it's at the heart of most of your chronic illnesses.
Stress.
Stress causes inflammation. So
Stress is the cause for all the problems.
Stress is a big part of inflammation. Yeah, there you go.
You're
Dr.
gonna go
Bob,
from
you're doing all right
93 to
here.
80
So.
now, right?
So you said you started late.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started going to med school?
So I was
Chiropractor school.
yeah.
Where did
Yeah.
you go to school?
About my I was about 50 years old. So yeah,
Was that 50?
yeah, I was.
All right.
Yeah. So I got one career out of the way. Started when I was 50 years old. So I just focused on learning
Was
as
it
much as I
online?
could.
Was it in classes?
No, it was not online.
Mexico, maybe
No.
Bahamas.
So-
Did you feel like
You had the general public's idea of a chiropractor. So we actually take
That's true.
about
Not
4.
true.
Oh, really?
Not- oh no,
Okay,
no, I
good.
busted your chops. But
Okay.
I understand. There's probably more chiropractors in the Chiefs locker room than there are doctors or trainers, because they got to be there to make sure the athletes are primed in every possible way.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there are quite a few medical, medical practitioners working with the Chiefs, and they're a fantastic program. I do think chiropractic has a very useful part or useful place in society today. We just take it a whole nother way. We don't just focus on cracking your back and sending you out the door.
Okay.
We do corrective care in the office. So if you come in and your curve in your neck is wrong, that leads to degeneration. All of a sudden, that's going to get you into that orthopedic surgeon's office where they're going to have to fuse things if we don't fix it.
Right.
So we just say you have a better quality of life if we can take care of things ahead of time, be proactive instead of reactive. And that's what we do with all three of the pillars of our company. With nutrition, we do a lot of testing. Leaky gut is the focus of our nutritional program. If you have leaky gut, you're going to have inflammation in your body. Your stress levels will be higher. Heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, all of those things come from leaky gut.
what are symptoms of leaky gut? If people think, do I have this? What are the obvious
So
symptoms?
bloating, brain fog, things like that. Those are
You have
fatigue.
brain fog.
No, I was just looking at you.
Well, you're looking at my gut, not looking at your brain fog.
So a good indication, hey, thanks for the segue there. So one way you can tell if you have leaky gut or not is if you're a
What does
guy
segue
and
mean?
you stand, no, I was just thinking here. So if you're a guy and you stand up and you look down and you can't see your feet because there
Or-
might be that pony keg hanging out there, that's usually a pretty good indication that your digestive system's not working the way it should. Otherwise, you'd be able to clean that out of your system, right?
Push it nicely. Push it.
Is this a rock? Holy cow. That's really good.
Right.
Yeah,
Hard
really
fat. Heart valve.
Hard.
So, I mean, I was an athlete when I was a young kid.
Uh-huh.
When I was a young kid, I do 1,000 sit-ups a day, and my stomach is rock hard.
Uh-huh.
All the fat is underneath the muscle.
Okay.
It's protected.
But I got about a bunch of inches of fat lard underneath my stomach, and I've been
Uh-huh.
told that's the hardest fat to lose.
It's called visceral
That's what I was-
fat,
yeah.
right?
Vis-
Yeah, it's
visceral
around your
fat.
organs.
Right?
Mhm.
How do you get rid of that?
It's a multifaceted approach. First thing you want to
Diet-
do is
diet.
eat less yogurt, probably. That's a good place to start. I mean, just say
Got a lot of people going,
So,
eat less yogurt.
eat less yogurt. So you want to do some things nutritionally. What we do with people is there's something you can get. It's called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. You just look it up on ewg.org. It basically
Clean
is,
15,
yeah.
dirty.
Yogurt doesn't.
Clean 15, dirty dozen.
You got it. All right. The reason we do that is because that will tell you what foods you should buy organic and what foods you can get by without buying organic. Okay.
Is ice cream on either one of these lists?
It's not on the organic list. No, it's not on the other list either. So, but that's a vegetable list. So,
No ice cream?
no, it's probably not the best for
Well,
you.
So,
So,
wait.
into-
Chocolate cake, perhaps?
still not on that list.
so can
Well,
people?
wait, slow down.
No, you slow down.
Okay, we'll go to the real food. Ribeye?
Ribeye is actually a really good food for you if it's grass-fed and grass-finished.
Grass finished.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So when you take a piece of beef and you let's say you raise a cow. My parents are
Farmers.
cattle ranchers, so they raise their cattle on grass. The cow just eats grass. Cows, steers, they
What else
just
would
eat
they
grass. Huh?
What else would they eat?
They can eat corn or silage or things like that.
Somebody told
So-
me corn was not designed for human consumption.
I'm not sure about that one. I just know that the way we do a lot of our corn today, it's GMO and
Yeah.
it's heavily coated in pesticides and herbicides, and those our body wasn't
What do you do?
those our body wasn't designed to take in a lot of. So
Okay.
so we try to limit that in people's bodies. So,
So help me out with my favorite foods.
okay,
What are
vegetables, right?
Ice cream, chocolate cake,
Ribeye's pretty much up
Pizza.
there.
Yeah, everybody's good. I grew up on a farm. I eat meat and potatoes all the time,
Okay.
right? But we
So I
didn't
don't
eat
have
very
to be,
many
you're not saying,
vegetables.
you're not
So
saying be a vegan.
I'm not.
No,
So
it's-
I mean, if you
You
are,
need
that's up to
protein.
you. But
Right.
and you can get protein without eating meat.
Yeah.
But
Pills.
I think I think
Ow.
I think if you're gonna eat meat, it should be organic. It should be
Right.
good, clean meat to eat it. So the more organic it is, the more grass-fed, grass-finished it is, the more omega-3s you're going to have in your food, and that's kind of
Are you a
important for
happy
your body.
person?
I love my life.
Is there a lot of,
So
where do you, I find great joy in food.
that's fantastic. So I like to hike. I like to do things like that, play sports, like to run, like to ride my bike, that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
I know Americans love food, and I love food too. So I don't eat clean all the time. I'll
You
have
have a cheat day?
I have cheat days. Yeah, I have
Gotta
cheat
have
days
a
every
cheat
week
day.
actually. So
Can you eat ice cream on your cheat day?
I can.
You choose not to.
I choose not to. And here's why I don't choose to eat ice cream. Although I've been known to eat ice cream. Have you heard of Betty Ray's?
Yes. Never had it, but I've heard of it. Is it
Graders,
good?
Wow.
Graders is the best.
Is that right? I haven't been there. So
It's
I got to give it a shot.
Cincinnati.
So. Oh, okay.
I don't even eat ice
It's a
cream.
long
So
drive
can we
for
move
ice cream.
along?
So anyway, ice cream is something. Here's one of the things you want to try to take out of your diet if you want health. If you want to get rid of that visceral fat that we were talking about, then you want to take things out that end up becoming something called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And there's a way you can tell what foods fall into that category if it's protein, if it's sugar, if it's a carbohydrate, and then it's been heated. That's going to turn it into an advanced glycation end product. So what things fall into that category?
All the stuff he likes.
Might be.
I got a question.
Is ice cream in that list?
Take a look. There's, for my age, some muscles, not a lot of muscles.
Yeah.
I haven't
yeah.
been in a gym for 30 years.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to get me to healthy, lose 25 pounds, work on, see, I believe flexibility is more important than muscle mass and even diet right now in this stage of my life,
Right.
or cardio,
Mhm.
is flexibility. Being
Okay.
able to bend down and pick up something that I dropped on the floor. Functional
Yeah.
life living.
Right. Sure.
How long would it take you to get me so my body more functional?
Depends on how good you are at following directions.
80% good.
80%?
Yeah.
As in you change your diet?
Yeah, if I was prepared to change my diet and become a disciple, how long would it take you to get rid of the hard fat?
We'd have to do some tests.
Yeah, I
So,
assume that, right?
yeah. So I can tell you this. We have a,
6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years.
let me boil it down this way. We have a 30-day protocol for leaky gut, and then a 60-day protocol, and then a 6-month protocol. So if you can make it through the 30-day protocol, then we'll put you on the 60-day protocol. If you can make it through that, then we'll put you on the 6-month protocol.
And my life is different for the rest of my life if I make it through 6 months. I've made a change and why
Yeah.
go back to the evil ways.
Oh,
So
well, there's the change, or there's the difference there. So if you want to go back to where you were, then you're probably not serious about
I
making those
understand
changes, right?
so if I went 6 months,
Mhm.
how much weight would I lose? I weigh 230 now.
Yeah, I could see you easily losing 30 pounds.
All right,
So
hold on.
what's your goal?
My goals are always a moving goalpost. So as I gain more weight, my goalpost moves periodically.
I got it.
I'd love to lose 15 pounds. I think if I got down to 215, I would not look in the mirror and say, "My God, you're so fat," right? "My gosh, you're so crabby. My gosh, you're so old." I would
Mhm.
have more self-esteem. I'd feel better about myself because I once looked in the mirror and go, "Yes,
Pretty awesome. huh?
Right.
Yeah.
and I could see more than my feet." But
Is that true?
so
No.
we don't know each other like that. So, anyways, how much would it cost? 6 months. How much does it cost?
That depends on the amount of tests we have to run. So
Give me a range. $300, $30,000. Give me a range.
it's not $30,000. Tests can be anywhere from $300 blood test to $1,500 worth of tests. If we're taking saliva tests, food
Right.
sensitivity tests, we want to do antibody tests. When we do leaky gut, we always want to find out about your
Okay,
antibodies.
so tests.
So
Then once you got the test results, you put me on a program.
right,
You start with the diet. You start with the manipulation. You start with.
if you need those. So
When I say manipulation, I mean both kinds.
yeah,
I know what you're saying.
yeah. So if, we do chiropractic separate from nutrition. We do exercise programs separate from nutrition as well. It's really what you need. My goal for most of my patients is to do whole health. We really see ourselves as whole health doctors. You don't need chiropractic care from me every week for the rest of your life. If you do, then I'm probably not doing things right, or you're not doing your homework. But or maybe you're at a place where your body's so degenerated it needs it. But exercise is something that you need the rest of your life.
I am potentially a
Mhm.
customer, but all these, how many people we got? All 6 of these watchers, they might be customers also.
Okay.
So I come in there with this big, overweight, leaky gut, 70 years plus.
Mm-hmm.
How long are you going to get me? Is it going to take to reshape my body in my own mind's image? And approximately what is the cost going to be for the finished result? Does insurance cover it?
Good question also. Insurance does not cover it.
Oh, that's
So-
too bad.
We try to work with your doctor, with your primary care doctor, to have as many tests, like blood tests, those tests done through that.
They already got them.
Yeah. So we try to do that. That way we can cut down the cost of the tests. Then our basic plan, basically our basic nutrition plan, costs anywhere from $900 to $1,200. And then we do consulting after
Is
that.
that every week? Is it every month? Is it a one-time cost?
It's a one-time cost.
So
Right. That should take you through the 6-month.
you got a
program.
calculator. Let's add all this up.
Okay.
So we got the blood test. We
Right.
got this test, that test, and whatchamacallit test. We're probably around $3,000, $4,000.
Probably about $3,000. Now, we're saying that you
The
have,
doctor can't supply you with anything, so my doctor will, but her doctor won't.
yeah. So if we need all of your tests, like if we need $1,200 worth of tests and $1,200 worth of work, that's $2,400.
I'm good at that. I follow those
That-
two.
that
together,
good.
right.
So then it comes down to supplementation, comes down to what you eat. So you could
Are you
spend,
selling the supplementations like, what was the diet firm called?
we do recommendations for supplementation.
But do you sell a brand?
We have some that we
Okay.
have. We don't sell a particular brand.
So
We
you
just
can
sell
go
products
take,
that
you
are,
can take me to the grocery store, or are we going online to shop for stuff?
you can go online to shop for things. You can buy them in a grocery store too. We try to make it as easy as possible for people
Are you
to
gonna
be
teach us how to
compliant.
prepare the food?
Yeah, we have a recipe guide. Here's one right here I brought for
Do
you.
you have them keep a food diary too?
We do. That's a very good question. It's important for you to see what you eat.
Yes.
Because when you see what you eat, it's just like you brought up yogurt earlier. So yogurt has quite a bit of, basically has quite a bit of sugar in it.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
I know, that's why it tastes good. So sometimes if it tastes so good, it keeps your body from actually doing what you want to do. For every gram of sugar that's in your body has to retain about 3 grams of water. Where's that going to go? Not just that water, it's outside of your cells. So that fullness that you have there, maybe that's water retention from too much sugar in your system. Does that make sense? Or
What's
it could be your liver that's just pushing those fluids out because it can't filter anymore.
This is one of those things. Here's a heart attack.
Yeah.
That expression. Seriously, I'd love to wake up and see myself 15, 20 pounds smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see the muscles back to where they once were,
Sure.
right? The clarity in the skin. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I got to change everything in my life to get there, don't I?
No, not necessarily. I don't know what you're putting into your body.
Imagine
So
the worst of the worst.
is that right?
Don't
Okay.
you want to be the best you can be?
That's why we're talking to him, is
Uh-huh.
because,
So you got to
Eating
commit
right.
to that.
hold on for a second, eating right is certainly part of nutrition, is certainly part
Right.
of the formula of being the best you. I get that. A lot of work.
It's a lifestyle.
Oh, no. That's
It's
a
a
lifestyle, and it's a lot of work.
No, it's not.
Can I go to the restaurants anymore?
Yeah, you can use that. So like I said, I eat cheat meals. So if I'm going to eat a cheat meal, I'll do that while I'm out. But then I'll watch
What
what
is a
restaurant I
What is
go
a
to.
cheat meal? Salmon? No, salmon has too much fat. So right.
Salmon's good for you.
Omega
So-
3s.
Well, I
Yeah.
take a lot. By the
Wild
way,
caught salmon. You want to do that kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
but-
it's just eating smarter. That's really the key to nutrition.
how about this? My blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
116/74.
Mm-hmm.
Resting heartbeat, 58. Cholesterol, under 160.
Are you on medications or?
I take 0 meds, not a
Okay.
prescription.
Yeah.
In the genes. Maybe the big fat tummy's in the genes too, and that's a trade-off. But I believe that Americans in the last 60 years have gluttonized themselves
They have.
to the point where we don't recognize what a human being's supposed to look like anymore unless they're dedicated to living this lifestyle, whether it's the food in the grocery stores or the food in the fast food restaurants or the way that the way the fruits and vegetables have been treated out in
Right.
the
Right.
farms.
Sure.
But whatever it is, we're not healthy anymore.
Right.
And I applaud you for making a conscious decision to change your life around out of necessity and put together this message for however small the audience is,
For
of
now.
people actually wanting to change their life
Yeah.
and do this. So full time, you're working 50, 60 hours a week now, right?
Yeah.
How many people, and you've been doing it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Mhm.
How many people have transformed their lives under your guidance?
Um,
Do you have
I don't
any
know.
success stories?
Yeah, we do.
Sure he does.
We do,
Well, that's I'm
So,
pumping for
yeah.
success stories here.
All right.
Tell me a success story.
So we have one gentleman who came in with his wife, and this is probably a good story to tell. So he came in with his wife, and he wanted to lose 28 pounds, and his wife also wanted
Very
to lose
specific.
about 20 to 30 pounds. So he happened to be a military guy, so he's used to taking direction, and so I gave them both a list of things they needed to do. Both had basically had recipes to choose from, had specific foods to eat, specific things to take out of their body, exercise programs they should do, and then they also did the chiropractic program. So at the end of our 6 months, the gentleman had lost all 28 pounds and was in better shape. He wanted to be able to do rucksack, marches,
Yeah.
where you're carrying a heavy pack and walking and
I have
stuff.
no idea what that's like.
So, well, yeah.
I carry a
So,
sack every day.
There you go. I just got back from the mountains, carrying a 40-pound backpack to the
I've
mountains.
been carrying
and I
a
thought,
30-pound pack with me for a long
yeah,
time.
I sympathize, man. That was a rough one.
I mean, think
So-
about 30 pounds in your back right now.
Yeah, I know.
Or matter of fact, knapsack that comes
Yeah.
into the front
Right. That's why we do.
without the muscles to
Just let them
support it.
talk,
Why?
because it's important. I have questions too.
Well, that's why we do our corrective care. So my idea of chiropractic is to teach you how to take care of yourself, give you postural training,
Right.
so that we'll put your curve back in as much as we can. We'll take care of as much degeneration as possible, put together as much regeneration as possible. But we know we can't just do it by cracking your back and doing the chiropractic. We have to fix your
lifestyle.
muscles.
You're fixing a lifestyle.
And we have to fix the nutrition, because if we don't, what people don't realize is degeneration in your joints. A lot of that comes from what you eat. When we put too much processed or refined carbohydrates and refined sugars into our body, it actually breaks down. It breaks down our joints. It breaks down our bones. It really starts destroying the systems that create health. So rather than just be a chiropractor, what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a healthy community that could then create a healthier community, So I want to, like, if you're a patient, I want to teach you how to get yourself better. I want to educate. We do something called Doc Talks once a month. Our next one is August 17th.
At your office.
At the office.
Different
And all we
topic?
do is we talk about things that are necessary to help people make those changes in their life. We'll do exercises. We'll bring you in and say, hey, Bob, come up to the Doc Talk. We're going to go over postural exercises. It doesn't cost you anything. But if you start doing these things, you're going to see some of those changes that you're looking for. Or we just did one on atherosclerosis, how to keep from having a heart attack. So there are ways you can eat yourself into better health. There's exercise you can do that can help with that. Talk about lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood pressure. That's what we do. That's what I do every day with each patient. We do custom plans for everybody. So we'll do that. Our Doc Talks are really all about taking the information from all the patients we've had, looking at what works best for the greatest number of people, and then we talk about that. And people take notes, they sit down. When it's all said and done, we give you copies of our PowerPoints so that you can actually go home. And let's say you're a patient. I just had a patient in this morning. She just said she can move better because she comes in. She knows what to do nutrition-wise. She knows how to help her kids eat better. She knows how to help her husband eat better. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to train a community to be better. Think about it this way. If you're healthier and I'm healthier, we spend less money on healthcare then. Right? It's a supply and demand world that we live in. If we spend less money, you keep more money. You're not creating wealth to just give it all away at the end.
If I stop buying ice cream, I'm going to save money.
You're going to save
Well,
tons of money.
you know me. I get up at 4:15 every
You
morning.
must
and
buy
I'm
good ice cream.
running by 4:30 every single day without fail. I'm doing it again at night. And people ask me, they're like, how do you discipline yourself to do that every single day? I had 95 miles last week between power walking and running. And you know how I told them though? I said, do you brush your teeth every morning?
Absolutely.
Okay.
With all that ice cream.
Okay.
That's good to eat.
Well, the same
Love
thing
ice
with
cream.
exercise. If you start doing it, the day you don't do it, you feel like you didn't brush your teeth. So it's like, I brush my teeth every day. I exercise
Here's my
every day.
motivation for exercise. So when I was 18 years old, I actually got run over in a farm accident and crushed my pelvis. I was
Oh
in
my
a coma
gosh.
for 13 days.
Wow.
So spent 6.5 weeks in the hospital trying to recover from that. Multiple injuries. My doctor was this old doctor, very intelligent man. He sat me down in the office. I went home to heal, and he was like, hey, these are some crutches. I want you to stay on these until you come back for your next visit. Well, I was so sure I was going to just wow him, so I got off my crutches early. I started walking early. I walked into his office and he said,
What are you doing?
sit down, son. And he sat me down and he said, I told you not to walk on that because those bones were soft. And I knew if you did, you'd have problems the rest of your life. I can't fix that now. So for you, I want you to know that you're going to need to stay mobile the rest of your life if you want to stay mobile. If you don't want to be incapacitated, you're going to have to stay active and exercise. And as an 18-year-old,
Maybe he should have told you that when he
before.
said,
I
take
know.
your crutches home
I
and
know.
stay
It's
on
hard to
them.
keep an
thought it
18-year-old
was-
I
down.
understand
he thought it
that,
was because
because these
Yeah,
are
right.
the consequences of you throwing your crutches away. He
Right.
wasn't that smart, because if he was smart enough, he would explain to him the consequences.
What it did for me is it did change the focus of my life.
Sure.
And so it made me realize there are consequences to everything that we do. And so the guy, I didn't always eat clean. I was the guy who took their kids to the donut shop every Saturday, and we had pancakes every morning, and all of those things.
Pancakes are bad for you too.
It's those AGEs there. But anyway, so I did all those things. And now that I realize what nutrition and what health actually looks like, I want to try to help people realize when we do this to kids, childhood obesity is
Oh,
at
it's
an
on the
all-time
rise.
high.
Crazy.
When we do this to kids, that's something that follows them the rest of their life. And it makes it really difficult for them to be healthy later on. So I want to try to educate parents and families today to say, hey, show your kids how to eat healthy. Put vegetables on their plates. Don't do the. I have a patient right now who comes in and he's a type 1 diabetic, and so I'm trying to help him realize how to reduce his insulin load. And so I talked to him about it, and I said, hey, we need to make sure you have plenty of green leafy vegetables in your body so we get those nutrients that your body needs, so that we can work on reducing the insulin load on your system. And I said, what do you eat for vegetables? And he goes, I don't eat vegetables. And that's not just one young man.
It's a lot of people.
That's our society. We don't do it. We'll eat a salad when we go out, and that's about
I have
it.
a
So,
buddy who's claimed to fame as he never had a salad in his entire lifetime.
yeah.
Well, that raises the question for me too. Where's the best place to buy your vegetables?
So I buy it at different places. I eat a lot of kale, and I like that. I want to make sure that's clean, so we eat organic when we do that. Kale's hard to get right now because there's an issue with some of the farming. They had floods and ruined some of the kale. But
Let's
I-
go.
If you don't,
that's too bad, huh? So
No.
I do a,
Yeah.
hey, right in here, I'm going to leave this with you. There's a
Thank
kale
you.
shake recipe right there. Look what it has in it. It has
chocolate fat
20
bone. You
Oh
might-
yeah, those are good for you actually. That's going to get rid of that visceral fat. We should talk about that.
Okay.
So
Sounds like-
2,500,
Taste?
fantastic.
For you, fantastic. For me, it's
No,
gonna taste
not
like
just for
cardboard.
me. Not just for me. We have these at our Doc Talks, and people love these. These are our desserts. So 2,500 milligrams
Yeah,
of
like
potassium
cocoa
in a
oil,
kale
peanut
shake.
butter, and cocoa powder. Sure.
Can you buy this at the
He's on the
store?
fat bombs. I'm talking about the kale shake here. So,
Oh.
but this is
this is a KO fat bomb.
You are what you eat, right?
keto fat bomb. It's different, but anyway. No, and you can buy these at the store.
Even this?
Not this one, not this
No.
recipe,
Oh.
but you can get keto bombs, or basically they're just they're the same type of thing, the same principle, just healthy fats. I like to tell people healthy fats don't make you fat. Healthy fats will make you thin
Absolutely.
if your diet is correct. If you just eat healthy fats, then we're going to have a problem as well. But in moderation, in the right proportions, this is a recipe for good health. So that's what we try to do. These are things you should take out of your body. This is something we have in our clinic. It's just basically one of our
Do
pillars.
you have a website?
Yeah, we do. It's,
Are these recipes on your website?
they will be. The more recipes we put together, we're building a members section, and we'll have all of that stuff in our members section so that they can get to that.
How big is your fountain?
Pretty small. I think I have the same 6 people you have. Maybe I have a different 6 people, but
I'm sure we have different people. All right. So I love building business.
yeah,
I have a passion for building a business. You have a passion for being healthy and spreading your word.
right. I love educating. So.
You love educating. What do you see your business looking like 6 months, 6 years from now?
6 years from now, what I would like to see is multiple locations. with the
Does
same format.
monetary success mean anything to you?
I'm not afraid of money, but that's not my focus.
Okay.
So,
Your focus is in serving, sharing, educating,
right.
and in the prospect, you like to have a nicer car and be able to go and buy more kale at the farmer's
Well, if you
market.
look at it this
It
way
won't get
too,
any cheaper, I'm
if you
sure.
look at it this way, he was in construction and remodeling before. Now he's remodeling
Look,
and
he's-
constructing in
There
a
you
different
go.
way.
Good point.
He has taken a direction, a conscious direction that is not a sacrifice, because I would have to sacrifice to do what you've done. For me to look like you would be a sacrifice. What you did to yourself was not a sacrifice. It was a passion. It's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
All right. So what does your business look like 6 years from now?
6 years from now, I'm not the only one doing this. My goal, I graduated from Cleveland Chiropractic College here in town. My office is, we're moving, in the process of moving. In the next 3 weeks, we'll be moving to our new office. That's at 6600 College Boulevard, Suite 100A. It's just
What's the
right
cross
down the
street?
street. It's right, College and Metcalf, between Metcalf and Lamar.
Okay.
We're right there.
Big.
So we're close to the college. My goal would be to take students that come out of the college, train them to do what I do, because this isn't the normal chiropractic program. This is really an uphill walk for me because I saw a hole in healthcare.
Can
I
my
wanna
son
fill
call
that.
you?
Yeah, please do.
How about this? I love spitballing somebody else's business because I got no dog in the fight and it doesn't cost me any money.
Yeah,
Why don't you get an opportunity to be a guest lecturer at the college? Because I think what you're preaching is a little tweak or a big tweak versus what they're teaching.
right.
Find some disciples who say, oh my gosh, I want to follow him. And basically license them to be part of your organization. So as you're opening up more offices, they are partners, 50-50 partners with you in the other offices. And their 50% is all the money it takes to open the office.
Right.
Your 50% is the expertise, the mentorship, the helping them run a business. But if you could find 2 a year, 10 years, you got 20 offices. They're not just in Kansas City.
Right.
And now you have a brand. And with the brand, you'll be making the kind of money you thought was not important anymore.
Mhm.
But your opportunity is, how many people have you ever met that have this focus on what you're doing? Not
No
many.
one in my field. So,
Right. So you're a pioneer. You don't know it,
yeah.
right? Usually pioneers are the ones who get shot in the first arrow.
I'm trying to avoid getting shot right at the moment.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So as a business person,
Mhm.
you need to spread the exposure out, spread the workload out.
Mhm.
And if you can find some young 22, 25-year-old kids who have the potential of the passion that you have, you say, look, I'm in my mid-50s. I'm going to build it. Help me build it. It's yours. Right? I don't need money from the graveyard. I'll make enough money to pay for but when I retire, you'll be able to buy out my 50%, and it's not your business.
Right.
There's an opportunity for you to monetize this and relatively quickly without you having all the financial exposure. Right?
Sounds like a good plan. here.
He's a good
I
businessman.
think
But you
he is.
But you have to find the disciples.
Right.
Who have the passion.
Right.
And the younger they are, the more idealistic, the more you can manipulation, bad word.
Align.
What?
You
You
can align.
manipulate.
Building disciples. I really
Building-
need to build people who are like-minded.
Right.
And that's my goal, is to create a program that works so they can see that it works. So it's reproducible.
Have
And
them
then-
help you build the program.
Yeah.
Don't build a program and say, here it is, shove it down your throat.
Yeah.
Bring these people in, say, we're building a program. And the program will always be flexible because the next disciple might say carrots should be part of our diet. And here's the reason why. And you got to be flexible enough to say carrots are going to be part of the diet moving
Yeah.
forward. So it doesn't have to be your way or the highway.
Yeah.
It has to be, I am opening up, I'm open to share, learn, and lead.
Yeah.
And when the time comes to follow. But I need people who are as passionate as I am about where we're going and why we're going there, and who can write a check.
Yeah.
And I think you've hit on
Good
something there. And
advice.
I know she can edit part of this, but I will say I've heard my son say he's had discussions with other students at school,
Mhm.
and he's looking at graduating next year, like how to get patients. And you don't just want to be this chiropractor and
Yeah.
strip mall. This
See, I don't mean to interrupt. That is the absolute crucial part of your business plan, not what you're doing.
Hmm.
I mean, I had people lined up at the door to buy used carpet. I mean, we used to write on a decent Saturday, we have 50 to 60, we had 3 stores. We'd have between 60 and 100 people come in and buy on a
Mhm.
Saturday. And if we were only closing 2/3, that means we had 150 people coming into our stores.
Mhm.
It was the brand and the message. What you're providing is a service beyond anything the normal person has comprehended yet,
That is the
and
issue.
you have not communicated it
Yeah.
to where people are standing online to get into your store. And so your challenge is you got to grow the business. I mean, if you take an hour appointment, you only get 40 appointments a week, right? That'd be
Mhm.
nice,
Right.
right? And you have to do all the administrative stuff after hours, but then you have to find someone to take on the 45, take the extra 5. I mean, you're going to have to
Right.
build a team of people, of like-minded people.
Exactly.
How do you find the customers? $64,000. That's the grand poopah question.
Is it a question or are you?
I don't know the answer yet.
well,
Do you?
but I think you hit on it though too. What I was saying earlier is my son worried about how he's going to attract patients. You're adding a layer of credibility to the profession that otherwise wasn't there.
Wait a second. Maybe you go to the owner of Genesis, who lives in Wichita, by the way, it's on my Rolodex, and say, I would like to put one of my disciples in each one of your gyms. But I'm going to need you to help me find the disciples
Mhm.
and recruit the disciples, knowing that they have a job as soon as they sign up.
Mhm.
And I'll train them to be my disciple in your gyms.
So just how's our program out of the gyms?
Can you think of a better place to have a program?
A great location.
They only got
Yeah.
74 of them.
Yeah. Good place to start, huh?
I mean, what if you said,
Mhm.
this is what I do? Nutrition, which they're all about nutritions. I'm sure they got their own juice bars,
Mhm.
right? They got their own gyms. They probably have their own masseuse,
Mhm.
right?
I think they're massage therapists.
Massage therapist. No happy endings.
No happy endings. There we go.
Right? I want to take it and put it in steroids. I want to take what you think you're offering and put it on steroids to make a difference. Not just to make some money, but to make a difference. You're looking for health?
Yeah.
I'm
Those
gonna
are
take-
motivated people, right? They're at the
paying-
gym.
They're paying money.
Yeah.
Right? And if it's not Genesis, maybe you gotta go to the Jewish Community Center that only has one gym and
Right.
say, I'd like to take my program and put it in your community center gym.
Mhm.
And just find one big person who has a mailing list of 10,000 people to sell your services.
That's fantastic.
Because you're not going to be making it in a 200 square foot storefront on College and Metcalf.
Just signed a lease. You should have talked to me a month ago.
Well, no.
Don't scare
You
'em.
should have talked to me. Look.
I see a bartering thing going on here.
No. Understand. You know more about your business than I know about my business. I concede, but you know nothing about my business. Just like I know nothing about how to be healthy.
Right.
So on a scale of 10, what you do, you're a 10. On a scale of 10 of what I do, I'm a 7 or 8.
You're a 10.
Only because
You
you don't
created something out of nothing.
know. I understand that. I got lucky, worked hard. But
Me too.
no, you made some choices.
Yeah, I did.
You made some really tough choices throughout your entire lifetime.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever been dealt to you easy.
Still making those. This is not the easy way to do this. The
No.
easy way is just to do the 2-minute adjustment,
Right.
collect the money, and
Doc-
move on down the
Dr.
road.
Rick,
So
I understand you have chosen a path that has not been traveled before.
seems like it. So
Right. So either you got, and whether it's homeopathic physicians, or whether it is a gym where you can put something into, or disciples from the college,
mhm.
you're going to fail if you try to do this by yourself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You have to build a team of people around you
Mhm.
who have the passion for what you're doing. Because what you're doing
Mm.
is spectacular,
Well, thanks.
Mhm.
but you're only reaching 4 people a day.
It's tough. Yeah. I need to,
And if you overcharge, you're going to lose those 4 people.
because the people who need it sometimes can't afford it. So,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
By the way, maybe that's what the end road, the end of the road looks like. Getting it approved by insurance companies, that they can come into you
Yeah.
and have it written up by insurance.
Mhm.
Maybe that's what the end of the road looks like for you. That would
Yeah.
be now there are
That'd
people
be
standing
brilliant.
online.
Yeah. Mhm. Right. Right now, that's just the opposite. So.
Right.
Yeah. No, trust me. This is my vision. I want to see a healthier country than we have today. We can still have, we can still have dessert. We can still have cheat days. We can still have all of those things. But we used to eat healthier because that was the only choices we had. Now we have so many choices that aren't healthy. I just want people to
There were
understand
no
that.
unhealthy
So,
choices 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
yeah, you
I
just
mean, really,
you
think
ate
about
what-
it.
Yeah,
There was no unhealthy, you can use this in your spiel.
yeah.
There were no unhealthy choices 150 years ago.
Well, there was refined sugar. So here's a good example. So 100 years ago, we had sugar, cane sugar. We had table sugar,
But
just
it
like
was
we have
different.
today. It wasn't that. It's that to give you an example, there's an Amish community that has the obesity gene. So they're supposed to be an overweight community. Why aren't they? It's because they do 10,000 steps a day. So their lifestyle trumps their genetics, and they eat healthy food. They eat food off the land. So that's what we need to get back to, is just realizing, hey, we can enjoy life, but when it starts eating your life,
Mhm.
then you have to determine, is this really, are we really enjoying this? I had a gentleman come in that has cancer. And so we were talking about what to do now. And we had that discussion about a year ago. We could have had the discussion about what to do to keep from getting cancer.
Right.
Now we're having the discussion
survive.
what to do. Yeah. What to do now that it's there and it's proliferated in your body. It's the same, it's really the same scenario. It's just, it's a year later and now we're doing catch up where we could have been ahead of it. So I just want more people to be ahead of the game. Don't have to deal with cancer if you just correct
Okay,
things now. So
you know what? You know what Ann's main business is?
No.
She's a ghostwriter. She can write your story. She can write your book. She can write a book that outlines a change of life, right? That maybe you can make some money selling a book on change your life,
mhm.
right? And in coordination with Be the Best You Foundation, I think this is one of the pillars of how people, it's not just how to make money or how to find self-confidence or how to be a better you. It's how to be a healthier you.
Mhm.
What you're doing is very important.
Thanks. I feel like yours too.
I was involved with homeopathics for a while,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, great. Still got fat, right?
Who failed who?
Well, it's probably because I was eating ice cream and doing homeopathics at the same time. But you're not, you don't want to be the guy who's preaching from the mountaintop. You're not saying, look at me,
No.
I want to change the world. You're saying, I think I found a better way and I want to share it.
Yeah.
Please try it.
And you feel better.
Yeah. And I do want to create those young kids who come in who are excited about this. They can come in instead of me at 50 coming in and making these changes. When you bring that 28-year-old in and they say, I can be healthy the rest of my life.
What? Wait, here's nothing. What if you found a school system that would say, we're going to try cooking food the way you suggest we cook
Mhm.
food instead of the crap that we give them every day,
Yeah.
and see do they learn better? Right? Why don't you
Sure
go,
they would. So,
wait a second,
yeah.
that's a great idea. Why don't you go to a private school system where they don't have, right? Say, I would like an opportunity
Mhm.
to test study how food affects learning,
Great idea. Yeah.
and say you pay for all, right? I'm going to set a menu for lunch
Right.
menus. We're going to send menus home for the kids so they can have breakfast, the right breakfast and dinners.
Mhm.
And let's test them and see if they learn better. Test them
Yeah.
to see if the attendance is better. Test them to see if the attitude with their teachers are better. Test them
Right.
to see how better food affects children.
Be fantastic.
So if there's somebody listening and they want to do this, they go to thinkfullspectrum.com. Is that right? And you get a
Right.
free initial consultation.
Right. We want to sit down with you. We want to talk to you about what your goals are and then see if we're the right place for you.
Right fit.
So sounds like you're motivated. That's who we're looking for. We're looking for people who are
Yeah, but-
motivated to make some changes in their lives.
Do I get to
Ice
keep
cream.
this?
Yeah, that's your.
Ice cream.
Hey, you can treat yourself. You just don't make it a daily thing.
We actually have a healthy ice cream you can make at home.
There's hope for you yet. He's looking at you like I don't buy it.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not willing to make the sacrifice.
I know. He gave me his elliptical a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You have those George Burns genes, huh?
You know what? At one point, I was doing the elliptical 60 minutes, 4 times a week. And I stopped doing it.
What did it change?
Did you get bored?
That's when I got fat.
That's when you got fat?
Yeah, I was down to, I'm 230 now. I got down to 208.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just coast up. Yeah, it's hard to coast uphill. I mean, it's really,
It's
hard
an
to-
effort, isn't it?
It's a lot of
It's a
work to coast
decision.
uphill.
Yeah.
Sir, I can't tell you how informative, and I'm sorry if I was a little,
Oh, no, it's good to talk to you. So,
I mean, I love busting chops.
He does.
It's part of my personality.
It's about the only thing he does well.
Thank you. Sir, best of luck to you.
very good to
Really.
meet you.
Feel
Yeah.
free to call on me anytime.
Thank you.
Am I allowed to drink coffee with cream in it?
You're allowed to drink as much coffee as you want, but we should probably talk about what coffee can do to you long term. So I don't want to take a lot of things away from you. What I want to really do is help you focus on ways to get healthy,
All right.
healthier.
It's not going to
and
take
stay
away
healthy.
everything.
So
Yes, he is. Is sex okay?
it's really good for you. Burn a lot
Oh,
of
there you go.
calories.
See, I got
There
to
you
take that.
go.
You got to put it in writing so I can take that home. All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Till next time. Thank you, Dr. Rick.
Thank
bet.
you.
You've been a fantastic guest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.